Good morning, students. In last class, we have studied the phylum Coelentrates. So here we have studied the characters of Coelentrates. By means, here Coelentrates means having a cavity-like an intestine is presenting, or otherwise we can call them as cnidarians, where they having a stinging cells are presenting in the form of cnidoblast cells. So they are called them as cnidarians or Coelentrates. Where we have studied the class, that means here there are, it is classified, we have studied the general characters of the phylum Coelentrates, and it is classified into three classes: Hydrozoa, the Scaphozoa, and the third one is the Anthozoans. So these are the three classes, and we have studied the examples of these three classes we have studied in the last class. Now coming to in this radiata, we will having two organisms, the two phylums, one is Coelentrates and Actinophores. So here in last class we have studied the Coelentrates, and coming to the next one, that is Actinophores. Actinophore. So here the phylum Actinophores. So what are Actinophores means? Actino means here we can call them as a comb. Phora means a bearing. So these are the organisms which are having a comb bearing organism. That means here we are having a comb like structures are presenting. They are having an adhesive structures that are a comb like structures are presenting. So due to the presence of a comb like structures, these organisms we can call them as a comb bearing and organisms. And these Actinophores are there. So shows here these Actinophores are cnidarians. Why means here the in Actinophores here the stinging cells, the stinging cells are absenting. So due to an absence of the stinging cells, here Actinophores are also called them as the cnidarians. And these are free swimming organisms, free swimming or pelagic organisms, and having transsucculent. These are having a transsucculent structure that is called as luminescent organisms. These are having the transsucculent structure called as luminescent and organisms, where here they emit light. So these organisms, that means the Actinophores are the transsucculent structures called as luminescent organisms, where they emit light. So due to the emitting of light, these we can call them as luminescent organisms or bioluminescent and organisms. We can call them as bioluminescent and organisms, where here these luminescent in all the Actinophores will having a bioluminescent organisms are presenting where they emit the light. So the emitting of light, where here it shows these organisms, we can call them as luminescent and organisms. And here these are all are marine forms. All are the exclusively marine forms only. Marine forms. So there is no freshwater forms. All these are will shows the marine forms will be taken place. And here will having tentacles are presenting. Those the size of tentacles will taken place, and also having marine forms and show and having tentacles about 1 meter or more. 1 meter or more, these are presenting, and here these are the having where will having these are all are marine forms, and also shows the emitting the light. So due to this we can call them as luminescent organisms, and these are free swimming or the pelagic organisms, where here there also the ctenophores are also called as cnidarians, where here the cnidoblast cells or stinging cells are absenting. So due to the absence of the stinging cells, these we can call them as cnidarians. And coming to the characters, so here grade of an organization, here it takes place the grade of an organization. Organization, here it shows a tissue level grade of organization. Here it shows a tissue level of an organization. Here it shows a tissue grade of an organization, where all cells are combined together to form tissues, and the tissues will perform all vital activities in an organism. And also here it forms 4 fundamental tissues are forming, such as epithelial tissues, the connective tissues, the muscular tissues, as well as the nervous tissues are presenting. So here these will having a tissue level a grade of an organization is taken place. And next, if you see in here the second one, that is symmetry. Here will show us the symmetry here in ctenophores. In ctenophora, it shows a biradial symmetry. It shows a biradial, that is a bilateral. It shows a bilateral, and also the radial symmetry. It also shows the radial symmetry. So here we'll having a 2 type of symmetry will be taken place, that is having bilateral as well as the radial symmetry will taken place. So we are together we can call them as a biradial symmetric organisms. So here it shows a bilateral as well as the radial symmetry. So in larval stages it shows the bilateral symmetry. When you cut the organism in only one vertical plane, we are able to get 2 identical halves. When becomes adults, here it shows the radial symmetry. So when you cut the organism along the central axis, here we are able to producing 2 identical the halves are produces, then we can say as a radial symmetries. So this is where we can take place. We will show in a symmetry in a ctenophores, it shows the biradial symmetry, that is bilateral, as well as the radial symmetry is taken place. Next, coming to the diplo, that is body wall, that we will discuss now. Next, coming to the body wall. Body wall. So here it shows the ctenophores are the diploblastic. Diploblastic. Here these are a diploblastic, where here it shows outer and ectoderm, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. In between consists of a non-cellular structure, non-cellular gelatinous layer called mesoglea or collenchyma, or we can call them as the collenchyma. So here we'll having that means in the ctenophores these are a diploblastic in structure, where we'll having an outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. In between outer ectoderm and inner endoderm we'll having a gelatinous structure is presenting. The gelatinous structure we can call that as a mesoglea or a parenchyma. So in this in a mesoglea it having a connective tissue. It consists of mesoglea is a mesoglea. It consists of connective tissue, where it have a connective tissue where consisting of connective tissue with amoebocytes, elastic fibers, and also the muscle cells, where these look like that means in mesoglea it is consisting of a connective tissue with amoebocytes, elastic fibers, and muscle cells are presenting, where it look like a triploblastic. But basically here the body wall in ctenophores, the body wall is a diploblastic, will having only two germ layers, outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. Due to the presence of the connective tissue, that is amoebocytes, elastic fibers, and mesoglea, which are present in mesoglea, here it look like a third layer, so that here it is referred as the it is also called as a triploblastic in nature. That means it look like a triploblastic due to the presence of in the mesoglea will consist of the amoebocytes, elastic fibers, and muscle cells are presenting. Due to the presence of these cells, it look like the third layer, so it is referred as a triploblastic and organisms. So here we'll having the triploblastic an organism, where we'll having the three germ, it look like the three germ layers, but they are it shows only a diploblastic nature due to the in the mesoglea will having non-cellular gelatinous layer. Mesoglea will consisting of amoebocytes, elastic fibers, and muscle cells. Due to this here will shows that the triploblastic, but basically it is not a triploblastic, it is a diploblastic. Due to presence of the cells, it look like the triploblastic in nature. So this is where we can call that as the body wall. Next, coming to the coloblast. Here coming to the coloblast cells. So what are sporozoum? These are the specialized cells. These are the specialized, these are the specialized cells present. These are the specialized cells which are specialized adhesive cells. Sorry, these are specialized adhesive cells. Adhesive cells present. These are the specialized adhesive cells present in the ectoderm. Present in an ectoderm, where here these are also called as these cells. These means chloroblast cells. These cells are also called as the lasso cells. Lasso cells. So these are helpful for the food capturing. These are helpful for a food capturing. These are helpful for a food capturing. So such type of cells which are helpful for the food capturing, then such type of cells are called as the lasso or chloroblast cells. So here in outer ectoderm, that means these are present in the actinophores. These are present in the ectoderm of actinophores, where here these are also called as lasso cells. They are helpful in food capturing, and it is a characteristic feature. It is a unique feature. It is a unique feature of actinophores. So here will having the unique feature of these consisting of a specialized and adhesive cells are presenting. Due to the presence of adhesive cells, these are called as chloroblast cells, or otherwise they are called as the lasso cells. These are helpful for mainly food capturing. That means collection of it helpful for these cells are helpful for the collection of food materials, and it is one of the characteristic feature present in actinophores. Next, coming to the body cavity. Here a body cavity is absent. Body cavity is absent. Body cavity is absent. So they are acoelomates. These are acoelomates. These are will shows then acoelomates. These are the acoelomates, where will having the body cavity is not be presenting. So due to the absence of the body cavity, here these we can call them as an acoelomates. Next, coming to the locomotion. So coming to the next one, that is a locomotion. Locomotion. So here locomotion will having in this locomotion it consists of 8 rows of meridional, 8 rows, that means 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts called as ciliated, 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts called comb plates, called as the comb plates. So due to the presence of the, that means comb plates, these we can call them as these are called as comb jellies. These are called as comb jellies. That means due to the presence of the, already I said, tino means comb, fora means bearing. That means these are having comb plates. That means due to the presence of locomotion is taken place by the 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts called as comb plates. We'll having 8 meridional plates we having. So here we'll having so here these are having an 8 rows. That means 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts are presenting where they are arranged in the form of ciliated structures. So due to the presence of these ciliated structures, ciliated tracts are presenting. Due to this, here we can call them as the meridional rows are presenting, where we'll having 8 plates are, that means 8 meridional plates are presenting. Due to the present like this, the meridional plates are arranged in a ciliated tracts, where we'll having a comb plates. These we can call them as the comb plates. These we can call them as the comb plates. So due to the presence of the comb plates, here we can call them as these phylum, we can call them as comb jellies, where they are having arranged in the form of 8 meridional rows. That means 4 one side, another back side, 4. Total will having 8 rows of the meridional rows of ciliated tracts are presenting. Due to the presence of these 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts, here these with the help of these comb plates, these are helpful for the locomotion. That means movement of organism is taken place in ctenophores. The movement of organism is taken place with the help of comb plates, where they are arranged in the 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts. So due to the presence of comb plates, these we can call them as comb jellies also. And also here a next character, if you see in the photocytes. Photocytes. Here photocytes means these are the cells. These are the cells which consist, which produce a light. So here due to the producing of light, here the ctenophores are called as bioluminescent organisms. Bioluminescent and organisms. That means here it produces the light due to the presence of the photocytes. Photo means light, cytes means cells. The cells which produce light are called as the photocytes. So these light will produce light. So due to the producing of light, these organisms, that means ctenophores, are also called as a bioluminescent organism, where it is also one of the an important the character present in ctenophores, where all ctenophores are bioluminescent organisms, where they emit the light. Due to the emitting of light, that is they having the photocytes are presenting. Due to the presence of the photocytes, these are, we can call them as the bioluminescent an organism which they emit the light. Next, if you see in here a digestive system, or a digestive system. So if you see here digestive here, digestion is taken place, the digestion is taken place, digestion is taken place by both an extracellular and also an intracellular. Here it shows both an extracellular and an intracellular, and here digestive system, here digestive tract consists of digestive tract consists of the mouth, pharynx and stomach, the stomach and anal pores. So here it shows a complete digestive, digestive system. It shows a complete digestive system, where here it is taken place, the digestion is an extracellular, it is taken place outside the pharynx, and also it shows an intracellular inside the digestive system, where here it takes place, the digestion is taken place by, it is a digestive system, or digestion is taken place by gastrovascular system, where the digestion is distributed, that means digestive food is distributed throughout the body in the form of a gastrovascular system. Here it is here it takes place extracellular means outside the cell, in the pharynx region, it is taken place, and also intracellular inside this cell, where here you're having the digestion is digestion is taken place, digested food, the digested food is distributed by the gastrovascular system. That means here the circulatory system is not be presenting, but the distribution is taken place through the food. That way food is distributed by the gastrovascular system. That is, gastro means intestine, it is distributed the food in the form of vascular system. So here together we can call them as a gastrovascular system. So here it shows both an extracellular as well as intracellular, and a complete digestive system is presenting, that is in the form of a complete digestive system, where we'll having two parts, that is we'll having mouth, pharynx, stomach and anal pores are presenting. Due to this, here the food is digested, that is the digested food is distributed through the, and that is taken place by a gastrovascular system, the food is distributed. So here it shows, it is also the digestive system is also called as the gastrovascular system also. And if you see in here the circulatory, here a skeletal, respiratory, skeletal, respiratory and excretory and circulatory system, systems are yet develop. That means these are not completely a development will be taken place. They have to develop. So here the skeletal, respiratory, excretory and circulatory system are not and wait developed. So these are the where this is the where we can call are had to be developed. That means they have to a development will be taken place. And coming to the next one, that is a nervous system. So now coming to the next one, that is a nervous system. Nervous system. So here in the nervous system, it consists of a network of subepidermal fluxes, network of subepidermal fluxes with the 8 rows of meridional here 8 rows of the meridional 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts. That means here already we have said we are having the 8 meridional rows of comb blades are presenting. From these 8 rows of meridional plates, here a network of capillaries, that is a network of subepidermal fluxes are produced, that is a ciliated 8 rows of ciliated tracts, that is nerves are arise from the each meridional rows. From each rows we will having 8 nerve fluxes are produced, and in the center will consist of these will consist of the structure. The structure we can call that as the statocyst. In the center will having a centrally placed a statocyst is presenting. This statocyst is helpful for the an equilibrium. Equilibrium means it helpful for the balancing the body of an organism. With the help of this statocyst, it helpful for the maintenance of the or balancing the air. It helpful in an equilibrium. It helpful in an equilibrium. Equilibrium means it maintains the balancing the body. That balancing body is maintained by the center part of the 8 meridional rays, that is called as a statocyst. This statocyst, main function of statocyst, it helpful in an equilibrium. That means it helpful for the balancing the body. So such condition we can call this as the balancing, that is the statocyst. And in the center of meridional rows, meridional rows consist of a statocyst which helpful for equilibrium, or otherwise we can call as the balancing the body. It helpful for the the balancing the body. So that is taken place, that is presenting in the nervous system, where these are arise from the subepidermal flux will arise as a 7 meridional rows of ciliated tracts, that is nerve tracts are arises. So that are from each, that is each meridional rows, these are arising 8 rows will having 8 meridional ciliated tracts, that is nerve tracts are arises and forms a sub and epidermal fluxus, where in the center will having a statocyst is presenting, that statocyst will helpful for the equilibrium, will maintains an equilibrium, are helpful in an equilibrium, that is it is taken place as the balancing of the body. So this type of system is presenting in a nervous system in actinophores in the form of subepidermal flux with 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts with a narrow tracts with the center will having a statocyst. Next, coming to the reproduction. Here coming to the reproduction, here reproduction, these are that means ctenophores are the ctenophora or ctenophora are monoecious, monoecious means or we can call them as the hermaphrodites, or we can call them as the hermaphrodites. That means monoecious means both male and female gametes are presenting within an organism. So if both male and female organisms are presenting within the organism, we can call them as monoecious. Mono means single,ecious means organism. If the organism containing the male and female gametes are presenting within the same organism, we can call them as a monoecious, or we can call them as a bisexual. Bi means two sex. That means if the organism having two sex, that is male and female gametes are presenting within the same organism, we can call them as the hermaphrodites, or otherwise we can call them as a bisexual an organism. And here asexual reproduction is asexual, the ctenophores are taken place by monoecious or here it is taken place monoecious or hermaphrodite or bisexual, that is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is taken place. Sexual reproduction is taken place, but asexual reproduction is absent. But asexual reproduction is absent. And here if you take a development, the gonads are produced from endoderm. That means gonads means the male and female gonads are produced from the endoderm, and the development is an indirect. Here a development, the development is indirect, where it shows an sin-dipped larval forms. So here the development is a sin-dipped indirect, where here it shows a sin-dipped, and the fertilization is taken place by an external. Here the fertilization is external. The fertilization is external, outside the body it is taken place, and the development is indirect, where here it shows an sin-dipped larval forms, and also here it shows the regeneration and here it shows a pediogenesis. In this, here it shows the regeneration and pediogenesis. So here what is the pediogenesis means? Producing of the sexually reproducing a matured larva. Sexually reproduced the matured larva where sexually reproduce matured larva without fertilization, fertilization. So here without fertilization, here it shows the regeneration. Here I have write here pediogenesis. What is the pediogenesis? Sexually reproduced a matured larva without fertilization. So this process we can call as the pediogenesis. That means regeneration. Regeneration means if any body parts are lost, already we have studied in a peripherance will having the more regeneration is taken place, where having if any body part is lost, that will be replaced by an organism. So here it shows and a regeneration is taken place. Regeneration, that means body parts are lost that are produced, again that body part will be replaced. And also shows here the pediogenesis. So here what is the pediogenesis means? Here the sexually reproducing a matured larva without fertilization if they are producing. So this process we can call as a pediogenesis. So these are the characteristic features that are taken place in the phylum Actinophores or Actinophora. In the Actinophores, these are the characters where they are having the lasso cells, adhesive cells are presenting, they are in the form of lasso cells or coloblast cells, and also will having the statocyst, where it is also one of the an unique feature present in nerve cells in the that is in actinophores, and also photoreceptors or photocytes, where they are bioluminescent organism which emit the light. It is also one of the characteristic feature. And also here will having the comb jellies. Due to the presence of comb blades, the locomotion is taken place by 8 meridional rows of ciliated tracts or ciliated tracts are taken place, that is called as comb blades. Due to the presence of comb blades, these organisms are called as a comb jellies. So these are the characters, these are the important characters where they are. And also reproduction, here it shows sexual reproduction is taken place, but asexual reproduction is completely absent. And also these are monoecious or bisexual, and development is and fertilization is taken place and external, and development is indirect, where it shows in a sin-dipped larval forms. Next, coming to the last one, that is the classification of the phylum Actinophora. So here coming to the classification of phylum Actinophora. Here Actinophora is classified into 2 classes. It is classified into 2 classes. So the 2 classes are, one is called as a tenticulata, that is based on the presence of tentacles, based on the presence of tentacles. One is called as a tenticulata and second one is called as a nuda. Tenticulata means here the tentacles are presenting. If the organism, if the class consists of the tentacle, that means if the organisms consisting of tentacles, a hair-like structures are presenting around the mouth, they are called as tentacles. If they are presenting, they are grouped under class called as tenticulata. An example we can take in place Formifera, otherwise you can call them as sea walnuts. And the second one is Pleurobronchi, or otherwise you can call them as sea gooseberries. So these are the two examples where they are taken place in the class Tenticulata due to the presence of tentacles. And nuda is the absence of the tentacles. Here tentacles are absenting, so they are grouped under class called as nuda. Here example is Bereo. These are the two classes based on the presence of the producing of tentacles are absenting. Here, if they are presenting, they are grouped under Tenticulata. If they are absenting, they are grouped under nuda. So examples are in Tenticulata. Examples are the Hermophore, or otherwise you can call them as sea walnuts. And the second one is the Pleurobronchi, where we can call them as the sea gooseberries, and nuda, where absence of the tentacles. Here, due to the absence of the tentacles, they are grouped into nuda, that is Bereo. These are the two classes where they are presenting in the phylum Ctenophora. So in next class we will discuss the next phylum, that is bilateral. Here bilateral means when you cut the organism in only one vertical plane, not any plane, in only one vertical plane. If you cut the organism, here we are able to get two identical halls are presenting those, so they are called as bilaterias. So here bilaterias are classified based on the presence of the body cavity. These are classified into three types, that is acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, and eucoelomates. So what are that will be discussed in the next class.